Good morning, good evening, whenever you are watching or listening. Welcome back to Tatiitalks podcast. By this time, while you guys are listening and watching, I would have just come off of a little sabbatical.
Yeah.
This is going to be start of season 2 of Tatiitalks podcast. Yeah, I didn't tell Janae that. So this is her.
What?
Yeah. I stopped at episode 8.
And this is season 2?
Yep, episode 1, season 2, episode 1.
I'm on season 2.
Yes. So welcome back, and if you're new here, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Share, like, and let us know what you love, what you don't love, what you would love to hear.
Yeah.
I like to pull difficult conversations out of people.
AKA me.
Yeah. I mean, other people too. But you just have the most difficult time because you're Janae. So today we are going to... Actually, this is perfect because episode 1 of season 1.
Yeah.
Ooh, thank you, Holy Spirit. Yes. This is perfect. Because
what did he say?
Episode 1 of season 1, I was asking you, where do you live?
Whoa.
And you were talking about you moving to Houston, and then you said all the things of like, one of the reasons why I moved to Houston because dating in Atlanta sucks. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
You just love to bring that up.
I love it. So Janae, as of today, April 2023, where do you reside?
I am in Houston, Texas.
Oh, lies. You are lying.
I am in Atlanta.
What happened?
I just moved back here to Atlanta.
When?
Home.
What month? End of February?
I moved beginning of March. So I've been here for probably a little bit over a month.
How does it feel?
So let me tell you what happened.
Well, first, how does it feel to be back?
It feels good. It feels good. I had a season of resentment towards like everybody. Mm-hmm. But I'm out of that resentment season, and it just really feels refreshing. It is a refreshing feeling to be back home. I love Houston, and I wanted to be there.
You sure did.
Ooh, I wanted to be there.
Janae was fighting, but we're gonna get there because I don't want them to be out of the conversation.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we're gonna reel it all in.
Yeah.
So like, what happened? You moved there. You felt great.
Yeah.
December. So this was, when did we record? We recorded around Christmas time. So December.
So I moved. Okay. So I'm in Houston. I moved to Houston. And I don't know if they know, but I travel a lot too, like to just different properties, but in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, but this opportunity with my job, they had me go to Houston, and I loved it. And I was like, let's go. And then in my head, I made my own plans without consoling God, without consoling like a lot of things. I just made it up in my head that Houston is going to be home without it being like a project, because that's what it was supposed to be, just a 6-month project. And so I moved there. I worked, hated what I was doing, hated it. Anxiety came, a lot of anxiety came, a lot of tears, a lot of frustration came. But like, I was trying to ignore those feelings because I really wanted to be in Houston. So I'm trying to stick it out, guys. And then my project becomes up. Like, it's time for me to come back home. I can come back home. And I'm like, no, I get another apartment. So I sign a lease, guys.
Yeah.
I signed a whole lease in Houston, Texas. And I'm in real estate. I'm in property management. So I don't have to sign leases anywhere. So I go and sign a lease, and I just...
It's okay.
I go to an apartment. I get an apartment without God's permission. And unfortunately, that came with quitting my job. I quit my 8-year career in real estate, in property management, and was like, I just want to be an entrepreneur. I just want to do this. And so even the Tatis of the world, the Isaiahs of the world was like, are you sure? Are you positive? And I was like, yeah, corporate America, forget about it.
And I think, just to pause you right there, I think one of the, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like one of the reasons why you quit was, yes, you wanted to pursue the entrepreneur life, but I feel like you thought the reason you had anxiety, the reason you were feeling this way was because of your job.
Yeah.
And you're like, nope, that has to be it. Like,
yeah.
So once I quit here, I'll be good.
For sure. I for sure diagnosed myself. I said that I don't have this much anxiety except for when it comes to my job. When I said it out loud, I was like, that's what you think becomes real,
Yeah.
you know? And
You
so,
kind of psych yourself.
yeah, I
into
psyched
thinking
myself
stuff.
out. I was like, my job brings me anxiety. So what do? Cut my job out. And so I quit my job. I get an apartment. I try this. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak at all.
It's not.
Like it's not for the weak. And unfortunately, a lot of things happen in between time of like certain bills came up, my Jeep or the car. I was in a car accident. That happened. I wasn't in a car accident.
Well, yeah, you physically wasn't, but your Jeep was.
My car was in a car accident. And that had a lot of money. So just finances just wasn't in order as soon as I decided to get a new apartment. And God literally told me, was like, I didn't tell you to do all this. I did not tell you. Houston was going to be it. Houston, yes, go, impact lives, meet people, go to that city because you want it so bad.
Talk about so bad.
You want that so bad. So go. But I was trying to make it home, and he was like, you signed a 12-month lease? I'm going to cut that real short. So he did. So I had to come back home, and just to Tati's point of like answering the question, I came back home with full of resentment, full of like, why did I have to go to Houston for 6 months to bring me back? Like, why would you bring me back? And I felt a sense of failure as well. I was just like, I wanted this so bad, and God blessed me to go, and then 6 months later, I have to come back home to like my parents' house, guys, because I didn't have anywhere to stay. So I had to go back to my parents' house.
After living by yourself for how many years?
Man, I've been on my own since 18. I'm 31. And I had to go back and live into my childhood bedroom. Everything now talking about it is like, that's a full circle of like, God is just like, I'm going to plant you
I literally just
into
got
your
chills.
childhood bedroom, and you're going to sit there. And you're going to, ooh, Jesus. You're going to sit there in your bedroom, uncomfortable enough to seek me. Lord, because I was uncomfortable.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Because I was uncomfortable. I could only seek him. I was like, I don't know what else to do.
You literally have me speechless because I did not even make that connection.
Until I spoke out.
Yeah. And this is what talking about it does for you, because you were so ashamed of the story when it's like, no, you learn from your mistakes. Now, when you say God blessed you to go, God gives us free will. Whether it's supposed to happen or not, he's like, child, you trying to do this so bad, go.
But okay, but he allowed it though. Because God could have blocked. God can, just as well as he allows stuff, he blocks certain things. Just as well, like, AKA my dating life.
That is correct. He does block certain things.
And allow.
But that doesn't negate the fact that he still gives us free will. So like,
yeah.
For me, I feel like, have I ever felt like God is blocking something? I can't really think right now. But that is a good point. He does block certain things. And maybe y'all know the answer to this. But in my perspective, I feel like most of that, the stories that I hear, most of it is coming from like shielding you from danger. Most of them. But
or immaturity.
yeah,
Like you're not mature enough to handle
right,
what you're asking for.
exactly.
This is not your season.
So
Or even with you with being pregnant, you wanted to be pregnant way before.
I did.
Way before you got Sanaya. Now
I did.
Sanaya's about to be 1. You wanted her 2
years
years ago. So
Thank God,
like
because
was blocking that, and now you can realize that why am I not conceiving? Why am I not doing this?
Go back to the episode because that was a really bad moment for me.
That was dark.
I really thought something
was wrong with you.
Yeah,
you thought something was wrong with you bodily, and you thought something was wrong with Isaiah.
Yeah,
to where they went out to seek help, like clinical help.
But
that's a whole okay.
Yeah, this ain't this episode. Okay, so talk me through you said you had resentment as you were leaving Texas.
Yeah.
So were you? And I know these answers, so maybe I shouldn't ask this because I was gonna say were you shutting down a lot? Like
the depth of
what
it.
was like your day to day when you realized, okay, I'm gonna have to move back home. Not your day to day, like what did you do, but like your day to day thought
process. So when it was winding down to the time where I was just like, I don't know how to pay next month's rent, or something is in me saying that I should go home. My resentment came from close family and friends, honestly.
What'd I do to you? I get it. I get it.
It was Tati. It was my parents. It was one of my best friends. It was just a lot of people that I really truly love because they're like, girl, come back home. Like, you don't have to struggle out there 8 hours away. Come back home. And I saw it as resentment because that's something that I just did not want to do. Mm-hmm. It was a pride thing. It was like, I want to be a big girl. I'm very independent in itself. And I knew that Houston, I just loved Houston. So I wanted to make it work. So just my village, everybody in my village is telling me to come home,
and we weren't giving you the answers
hope
that you wanted to have. Yeah,
nobody gave me hope of like,
well, we're never gonna do that.
Nobody ever. They're not gonna give me a sense of false hope. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that's where the resentment came, and then I still was optimistic. I was like, maybe something will turn around. God will give me a miracle, and I was in my word, in my devotion. You're like, and what is that? What is that scripture? It's not a scripture. Is it a song? It's something that says something about the heart. And we talked about it.
Oh, God will give you the desires of your heart.
Yes. I said my desire.
But you took a piece of that.
Yeah. So the God will give me the desires of my heart. I prayed for that every day. I was like, my desire is Houston and romantic love. Give it to me.
I'm gonna look this up because we did talk about this.
We did talk about it. And so Tati informed me because she went to church that day, and Pastor Roy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Pastor
from
Roy.
Discover Life Church. Mm-hmm. Holla at that church, y'all. It's
Pastor
good.
Roy spoke on that message of like, but you're not completing the sentence. You're not completing. Yes, God will give you the desires of your heart, but
hold on, my internet's getting a little slow. So keep talking.
I didn't want to hear that.
37.4.
I did not want to hear that at all.
You didn't. Even if when I brought it to you, you were like, okay.
But I want to live in Houston. And it's just like, when you have a city in mind, or when you have something in mind that you really just want to do and it just doesn't come, it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. And I just tried so hard to like make it work. And it
ain't happened.
Obviously, I'm back on this couch.
Ain't happened for you, Shadow. Okay, so it says, so this is Psalm 37, verse 4. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. So we talked about...
I didn't delight.
I was about to say, yeah. So we talked about what does it mean to delight in the Lord? Being close with him, having a relationship, seeking him, so that his desires will equal your desires.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that.
Not like, God, this is what I want.
That's
I don't care if it's not according to your will. This is what I want.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people misinterpret that scripture where it's like, well, he will give me the desires of my heart. No, baby. Because if the desires of your heart is to rob a bank.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, if you really push your flesh to do it, then maybe, and you're gonna be in jail. Like, I feel like people are just, and when I say people, it was me too, until that light was shed, and I was like, oh my God.
But what does seeking look like? Like when people, and Pastor Roy said that as well, and I just have so many questions. I want to pick a pastor's brain and be like a one-on-one. But what does seeking? Does that mean waking up, doing something? Does that mean fasting? What does that mean of like in God's eyes of you're seeking me?
Who? Don't ask me in God's eyes. I ain't no pastor. But what I get from seeking him is just having that deep, true relationship. So the same way we have a relationship, the same way you have a relationship with Tiana, that took work. You had to constantly hang out with Tiana. You had to learn different things about Tiana, what she loved, what made her jealous, and all that stuff. So that's seeking him is like digging into his word, knowing him, seeing him face to face, being so connected that like literally his desires are yours.
Yeah, whatever he wants, I want. Yeah. And I think that's where I'm at. That's where I'm in now. That's where I am now.
That's where I'm in.
Oh, Lord. Of like, because I never want to feel that feeling again. Of like, I desire something. Because I feel like that means me and God are not on the same page. If I have one desire of being in Houston, but he's like, nah, something is off. And what that something is me.
Mm-hmm. And with that comes issues. Like you're never going to be happy. You're always going to try and force the fact.
Yeah.
Which is why I believe so many things were no. And I'm laughing now because.
What you laughing at?
Because you would tell me so many things are happening and I'm like.
Girl, duh.
Do you not see?
Of course.
Do you not see? But I had to be very like careful because I also want you to like have your own experience. Isaiah always tells me like, just let her do her. I'm like, it's so hard for the people I love. I see you going through something.
Danger
not always danger, but like I see you going through a tough time when you can easily just get out. But he's like, no, some people just need to go through. And I'm like, well, then
and
they don't need to tell me then because it's tough.
I don't see that.
It's so tough for me.
What did you want to tell me while I was at, what did I give you?
Well, you were just telling me like, because a lot of things weren't going in your favor. And you're like, well, maybe, I don't know how vulnerable do you want me to be?
Go for it.
Okay, well, you were like, well, I feel like God hates me.
Yeah.
And I literally wanted to be like,
or
that
God,
is
I said
not
God doesn't
scripture.
Like me.
That is literally not scripture. You're believing lies that you're curating it on your own because of the situation that you're in. So like, I really would just wanted to like, but Isaiah was like, let her feel that.
Yeah,
let her feel that, and then she will come back around.
And so to shed light on what Tati is saying, I told Tati, I was like, I think God doesn't like me, and you can replace like with however you want, but I said God does not like me. And what I meant from that is just like, maybe I've done something in my past, and it's not scriptured, it's not, but like maybe I did something in my past that where I have to kind of get the consequence from. This is my consequence, because everything what am I trying to say? Everything has a consequence, or everything has a.
I kind of know what you're saying. Like every
action has something to it. So that's where I was saying maybe not. God doesn't like me is the word, but I was like maybe God is punishing me in a way that I did something in my early 20s or late teenage years, because I've done things that is not of God truly, and I was just like maybe this is kind of my karma in a sense, because I got to pay for it somehow, some way down the line. And so I was just like, yeah, God is not rocking with me on my team. And I'm trying. I'm doing devotion. Guys, it got so bad in Houston to where I would have to wake up 30 minutes prior to going to work just to throw up. Like I would throw up every single day. And maybe I wouldn't throw up, but it would be like a gagging.
Yeah.
And it was like the pit of my stomach. I would be scared. It would be nervous. It was true anxiety, but like it was not normal. It was not a normal thing. And I was like, I have to quit. I'm quitting.
And I think looking back now, if you truly seeked out the root of that anxiety,
what that was, I wasn't supposed to be there. Or Do you really think I wasn't supposed to be there? Or maybe I would.
Sorry, if you're not watching, if you're just listening, I nodded yes.
Maybe because I prolonged my stay.
No, because Janae, your heart was always in Houston, always. So regardless if they didn't have the opportunity or not, you would have found a way to get your behind in Houston. You would have found a way.
Yeah.
Because literally, when you came to me with the opportunity, you were like, and I've always wanted to be in Houston, so this just makes sense
Yeah, it makes sense.
to you. And I don't even think I ever asked you, like, what about Houston that you like? Because before this, have you ever visited?
Never been to Houston. Never been to Houston. Never visited Houston, but wanted to move there so bad. It's because
You heard that there's cute men in Houston?
well,
Incorrect motives.
I've heard that the dating life in Houston is good, but which is not true. Hence why I'm on this couch.
Oh, that's not what I would.
But even as a kid, like Isaiah loved SpongeBob, and Sandy was from Texas. And I always loved her, like the country. We're from Texas, and the cowboy, and it's great. I just loved it as a kid. And then I used to walk around telling people I'm from Texas. Like I remember around like
So this
sixth
started
grade.
from a lie.
Wow. Yeah, 6th grade, 7th grade.
The
I would tell people I'm
admiration
from
was built off of.
I would tell people I'm from Texas. Not Houston, but I would tell people I'm from Texas for sure. Absolutely. That's wild. That's psychotic.
You started. Wow, Janae.
And so now that Houston fell in my lap, I was like, this is God ordained from childhood. But that is a lie.
Whew. Okay, so let's switch gears. So you had to sit at your parents' house in your childhood, legit your childhood bedroom.
Legit.
It wasn't your childhood bed because we got it upstairs. But
Right. They have my bed.
but your childhood bedroom.
Yeah.
Literally like having to. I mean, you could have came over here, but it was kind of like.
That's packing a bag. That takes work to come over.
So how was that for you? Like, because you didn't start work until.
A few weeks after.
Yeah, a few weeks after you moved. So like, how was that?
So it was very nostalgic, right? Like moving back into your parents' house, especially in your own childhood room, that was nostalgic. Moving in back with your parents.
Mm-hmm. I know.
That.
Because even when I visit.
That is a different, that's a different experience. Parents are going to be parents, and you have told me that so many times,
sure.
But it was more so of every time I went somewhere, like I get off at 6, let it come 6:30 and I'm not in the house. They're like, hey, just checking in.
They're just worried.
Just let me know where you at. I'm just like, wow, please. So that feeling was, I was annoyed, but also like appreciative in a way too, because I'm like, people are really, because I didn't have it in Houston. Nobody is checking in on
right.
me. I'm by myself. And even though I wanted this so bad, I'm still by myself. So I was appreciative of it, but I don't think I'll ever want to go back to that. I don't
going back to your parents' house.
No, I would never want to do that ever again. But to say that, it's just like, you didn't want that in the first place, but it still happened to you.
Right.
So like, nobody ever wants to move back into their parents' house. But again, it was very nostalgic. It brought up so many memories, but it was not a fun time. It was not a fun time. And it really made me closer with God spiritually a little bit. I still have to do the work. I have to do the inner work.
Well, right. Because we're all growing.
Yeah. But spiritually, because I didn't like my environment. I didn't like what I was in. My pride was hurt. I felt the lowest of low. Like, I'm moving back in with my parents. Like, I haven't moved back in with my parents since I was in college. After I left college, I never came back.
Yeah.
So this is what you're supposed to do. So it wasn't a fun time. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun at all.
You were literally done. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's pause real quick because they is blowing me up, child.
Your job?
Yeah, man.
Tati is working while she's working.
They are blowing me.
Do you have a meeting?
No. But they just asked me a question and I need to answer it. I just don't know the answer.
Why I gotta pee?
No, you don't have time for that.
No, I don't.
I just need to find this real quick. Who was this for?
Who
Safety
got the
glasses.
keys to the Jeep?
Who was it for?
Who's got the keys to the Jeep?
Oh my God.
Fine.
Dude, and he's like texting me so much. I can't find who it's for.
Why not?
Yes, Arturo.
Dang, is our time up? I hear them marching down the stairs.
Arturo. Okay. No, time is not up. 5 minutes. Okay. Ooh, child. All right. What was the last thing you said?
Oh,
It was not a fun time.
no, moving back home.
Oh, since college, yeah. No, what did you say?
Huh?
What was the last thing you said?
Yeah, no, since college, moving back home is not a fun time.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been home. I haven't lived at home since college.
So part of me thinks that whole situation was like, okay, Janae, I need you to be my friend. I need you to be close to me. I
Yeah.
need you to make me the most important thing in your life.
Yeah.
So going through the motions and doing that, being strict with devotion time and, spending time with God daily.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you are out of that uncomfortable state, it's been a week now.
A week.
It's been a week. So like, do you feel like you're still in that same rhythm? Do you feel like because now you're by yourself, now that you have the apartment, like you love your apartment, you love your space, do you feel like, it's been kind of like, oh, well, I missed the morning here and there. I missed the night here and there, whatever. How has that been?
So I got an apartment. I just moved in, and I can say that I am happier than I probably ever was. I'm glad that God allowed me to remove myself, because I think living in Atlanta, I was so consumed with, luxury apartment. I'm gonna live here, and I became not appreciative of it. And so living in Houston, where it's just like this 400 square foot apartment, you got to make it do what it do, and I did. And coming back here, I was like, wow, my views, the balcony, and all of this. So I'm very happy, and I just have a different mindset of praising God in the good times and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it sounds so simple to say, but it's just.
But when you're going through it.
But when you're going through it, guys, when you're going through it and you're just trying to make it work, and your fridge is empty, or in my case, your car is wrecked, I literally fell on my knees and prayed and thanked God. Not even pray of like, God, please fix my Jeep. Please fix this. Please. I canceled that prayer out. It was just like, thank you for who you are. Thank you for even allowing me to have a Jeep. And if this time is up, this time is up. But thank you so much for even allowing that for me. So now back in Atlanta, I am happier than ever. I'm back closer with my family. I got my niece upstairs. I got my church back. I've been watching church online. Finding a church in a different city is hard.
You did not try, baby.
Well, I tried twice. And both of them was productions.
Okay, you tried twice.
Next question.
The first one, you was like, Tati, they have like pews, like real like creek pews.
I can't. One was not modern, and the other one was like drastically TV show. And I was just like, absolutely not.
And then you stopped right there.
And then I stopped.
And you've been in Houston.
'Cause you don't
You've
play
been in
with-
Houston from August to December and only tried twice.
Watching Discover Life Church in Norcross, Georgia. Luckily, they have streamed. Keep streaming. Shout out to Lauren. Because she done saved me. Because I didn't have no other. I don't like to do that. Vet out churches. That's crazy.
Sometimes you have to.
That is wild. You didn't have to do that?
Because I was called to my husband's church. And I literally tell him all the time, I'm like, dude, what if I did not like the church?
What happens?
He was like, well, I'm playing here. And I was like, well, we got to compromise on somehow. I was like, you lucky I like the church.
You're lucky that this church is for me.
No, because literally, like, I don't like vetting churches, but you have to, because you can't do life alone. And I think, yes, virtual is great, but like you need that community.
It's the community.
Like the community is so important.
It's nothing like walking into church, and I would say even DLC, Discover Life. Nothing about walking into church and somebody touching your back and hugging you full on brace, and I'm just like, oh,
And
I
it's like
needed
real
that.
too.
It
like,
is a real. When's the last
It
time
ain't
you had
like,
a hug?
girl.
Sunday.
And it's like, I feel the genuine
Connection. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I know they fake.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, some churches, you have to be a greeter. And like, because
it's just like, welcome to church.
Yeah. But no, like they really care. And I'm grateful because if I didn't.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the bigger reasons of why I moved from Houston to Atlanta. It's my church family, my church home, and that's going to bring me closer to God. So that's one of the things because I have to do the inner work. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, our producer just said it's time to wrap up.
He told us
I had
to do this.
I had so much more to ask you.
I know.
So
because I want to pick her brain on like the things that I have went through. I wanted to see like what she would do.
Yes. So we're going to close this out. I hope you guys understood, the different aspects of when you don't listen to Jesus.
He bring you right back. He going to yank you up. He didn't
yeet.
He didn't
Yeah.
yeet it. Dang, I wanted to be in Houston.
But please come. You sure did. And you never know. You might do.
I'm not moving back. I can't.
Oh, God. You might do a little circle back. But please come back, tune into the next episode.
Maybe my husband is in Houston.
Oh my God. All right.
Sorry.
We're going to switch this episode, the next one, so that we're able to have more of an open dialogue about how different people interpret different things and how they go about life. But tune back in next week. We love you. Peace.
Bye.